at CMB's Momentum with Phil Wickham. Hey, Phil.
Hi.
So, Phil, I wanted to ask you a couple quick questions while we're here. It's been a very busy week, and there's a couple of festivals going on. What's been keeping you busy lately?
This week or
just
in
generally?
general, my kids have been keeping me the most busy. I've got 3 little girls. One turns 5 this week. That's my oldest. Her name's Penelope. And then Mabel's 3. And Lottie, T-T-I-A, is 1 year old. And my wife's pregnant with another baby.
You're one of them?
Yeah, we just started creating a whole clan of Wickhams over there in San Diego.
I love the names. Do we have a name in mind for the last one, or is it still
it's still a secret?
Okay.
There's too many name stealers out there.
It's
too
true.
many name stealers.
Just a lot of Phils, I think, out there too.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask you. I know you're probably exhausted about talking about your last couple of years and your purpose.
Similar to Brawl
But I
Stars.
think, what people might want to know is scripture or something that you really clung to in that season, in that time of your life.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I've told the story often, but I love telling it because it's a story of God just really revealed himself to me. But the short story is that 2 years ago, I got this thing called call from the vocal cord, and it inhibited me from really singing hardly at all. And so I had to get surgery on it. I had to be totally silent for almost 2 months for the healing to happen. Thankfully, God brought just an awesome team and just healed really quick. And I got back on the road within 4 or 5 months, which was awesome. They thought it could be up to a year until I started singing again, which was crazy. So I'm thankful for the healing. But it was like a 4 or 5 month time of just unknowns, like not knowing if I'd get my voice back to be able to sing professionally more, and just frustrated, having to be quiet, and all that stuff. Anyways, and that all got spoke into my life in such a massive way. About me being his child, he's my father, and this is for all of us. We accepted Jesus in our hearts, and we called him the family of God, and what that really means, sort of seeing this part in the way that God the Father will create the universe. He not just call me into his kingdom, just to say like you're my servants, or you're not just his army, like you're a soldier, and it's like you are my son. Like Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas morning, family, you know? And like, I just was so overwhelmed by that truth and really believing the truth in a new way. And anyway, so all these new songs came out of it, and I started seeing verses in the Bible, I felt like for the first time. One in Philippians 2:15, it says, so that you may be blameless and pure children of God, without fault in a warped and crooked generation, and you will shine among them like stars in the sky. And I just had this picture of like people of God really like understanding in a new way and believing in a new way, like real truth about who they are. And it's not they're not defined by failures or their own successes. It's not defined. They're defined first and foremost. We are defined by what God says we are. We're set free, redeemed, and clean, and forgiven, and we've got a future and a hope and all these promises of God. This is a long answer to say, like, if you are part of the family of God, you're not born into it. God says that for all who believe in Jesus, are counted as the family of God, it says in the scriptures. And so if you follow Jesus, you have the Spirit of God inside of you, you have the light of God inside of you, and everything you need to really shape and change the world around you for his glory and his kingdom, and just like there is no fear, there is no shame, run for it. Anyways, long answer, but I'm so excited about it, so thanks for letting me talk.
I love what you're saying as you're talking. It's hitting me like, as a father of 3, you can't speak to your children. And it kind of, I never thought of it this way, but like before Christ was born, there was no word from God. Nobody heard God speak for so long. Like it must have just been an interesting, weird dynamic, not being able to communicate with words to your children. Or were you writing a note? Or,
not. It was like, definitely inhibited. I had Siri. I would like type into my iPhone, and a robot voice would say stuff, which didn't work very well.
Yeah,
that was the best I could do.
For sure. Okay, last question. Your song "This Is Amazing Grace" is a CCLI #1 song sung in churches across North America. I know our church does it, and you don't write music typically for congregational worship settings. At least that's what I've noticed in the past. And your songs, I can just sit and listen, but I never really thought of them as that context.
Yeah.
But this song is just super struck chords in churches. Why do you think that is?
I think the biggest reason, because there's really not I think there's sometimes a formula to have a hooky song, or a song that maybe can fit in the radio format, but there's not a formula for a song that kind of blankets the whole church as far as like, this is a truth that we all want to sing. And, that's what happened with like 10,000 Reasons, or How Great Is Our God. these songs that just kind of rise above. It's like, whoa, like there's just something special, and it's words we've sung before. It's melodies that aren't crazy, new or fresh. It's just, but something about this song has something, and I think it's just a special, like God breathing His life and His favor into something that just sparks a bigger response, you know. And that's, I guess He just chose to do that with this song that I got to be a small part of it with a couple other writers and producers and label and all that. So I'm so honored to be a part of that song. I mean, honestly, actually, most songs I put on records, in my mind, they're like I write a lot of songs with the thought, like, if I was a worship leader at a church,